Hi everyone and welcome back. So it is here, finally, the 7th sign of the zodiac. I know, I kind of let it slip a little bit. It's been really busy and I have a list of videos I wanted to get through. Some of them time sensitive, some of them not. But I am back. We are number 7 and then only 5 after this. So we're plugging away and we are coming back to our second air sign, and that is Libra. Yes, the first one being Gemini, you know, the quirky, fun Gemini. Now, Libra's going to bring that air energy down a little bit. They're both air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and they all are intellects. They all are about gathering information and giving it to the masses, but they all go about it in different ways. And Gemini is a little bit more flitty, and you know, maybe sometimes not as focused as the other two, but that's okay because Gemini is mutable, so it's a little bit more fluid. You know, it's able to take information quickly and know how to move it quickly on top of its Mercury energy, while Libra is a cardinal. And the cardinals are kind of the go-getters of the zodiac, so it's the cardinal air, you know? It comes up with these ideas, thinks quickly in its own way, and basically blasts it out to the masses. So they're really good at starting things, but not necessarily finishing. And we'll get to Aquarius later, which is the air fixed. But yes, so this is going to be a very simple look. Again, almost like Virgo. As I said in Virgo's video, sometimes when you go to certain signs, the change is very drastic. But I think between Virgo and Libra, in a lot of ways, even though they're different, they're very similar in certain ways. And I don't think it's that much of a drop in look between the two. So they're both going to be more gentler, prettier looks without the bold to them. So I'm going to explain why more, but here we go. So as always, I am taking a lighter color to prep the eye area. Still plugging through this one. Oh. So that's all I'm going to say about that. This isn't a review video. So I'm going to take like a mixture of the pink and white here. Of course you do whatever you want to do because, you know, different skin tones react to different colors differently. But this is going to be more of a subdued kind of, it's going to be more of a pinky silver look. So I will explain why. So basically Libra, the colors for Libra tend to be blue. They usually lighter blue. It's almost like childish colors to a degree. So, and I don't mean like they're childish. I mean childish in that, you know, it's like blue and pink for like babies. That tends to be what it is. So it's a light blue and then light pinks. What I associate with, and this is where I had problems with Libra. I was really thinking about Libra because Libra is a tough one, especially with this palette. I feel like there's certain signs that this palette doesn't necessarily fit as well as I would like, and Libra is one of them. So we're going to do the best that we can, but know that it isn't necessarily how I would go about it if I was using different products. But this is where we are today. So you could go with silver, but the problem is with this palette, there are silver ones, this Gemini one, but I feel like if I were to do a silver, it'd be a very shimmery and not opaque like this, and there was something like this for Cancer already, so I didn't want to have it be the same look. So, and the reason why I would choose silver is because Libra represents the scales, and that's the scales of justice, and of course we think of silver. So I'm going to do little bits of silver in this, and the other color that goes with them is a light pink. So like I said, it's very much like the baby colors. It's that scale, and that works really well for Libra. So we're going to go with something a little bit different. So of course we are going to start with Virgo. It seems like Virgo. You know, Virgo is the go-to. It's just the easiest because there's not a lot of crease colors. There's basically these two, unless you have deeper skin tones, then you'll have a little bit better array. But for somebody of my skin tone, not so much. So here we go. So working with Virgo. Libra, interestingly enough, little fun fact, is that Libra is the only sign that isn't an object. The rest of them are actually living beings of some sort. You know, they're alive, but Libra is actually the only one that's not, and it's the scales. So that's kind of a fun fact. No animal or half man there. No, it is the scales, which fits Libra well. The air signs in general tend to be about things being right and just, but taking the information in and putting it out. Like I mentioned before, with Libra, it's a little bit different because Libra takes the information usually of a group. Aquarius and Gemini are more information gatherers in general, like data or like fun facts or things like that, while Libra is more about group dynamics. So Libra, really loves people. Libra is about people. They are very social people. So unlike the other air signs, which could be a little bit more intellectual, even though Libra is an intellect, they can pull away and don't necessarily always have to be around people. Though Gemini is a little bit social too, but Gemini needs time to refuel. Aquarius can be social, but can also be very much like, you know what, no, I'm good. They can find people exhausting, but I'll get to that reason why when we get to Aquarius. But Libra is more of, Libra really loves people. They're one of the people persons of the zodiac. So they love people and hanging out and having a good time. And so what they'll do is that they tend to, and I've known quite a few Libras, they tend to be kind of the peacemakers in that they don't like conflict. And so what they'll do is if there's an argument within the group, they don't necessarily want to take sides. And if they do take sides, they're more likely to say, you know what, to the person later, not when they're there, I agreed with you more, and this is why. Because Libra, I find, and I've known a lot, do not like to cause waves. So what they'll do is if there's a group issue, and this is what makes them good with dealing with groups, is they'll take in all the information from both sides and then relay it back and say, hey guys, this is where they're coming from, and this is where they're coming from, and kind of be the mediator, the scales of justice. So it works really well for them. So what I'm going to do is actually bring this down because I really want to bring this color underneath. I'm doing it a little bit early, but why not? So, Libra really, they're the mediator. They're about justice. The air signs in general tend to be like that. They don't want injustice, but it's just Libra will go in there and check it out a little bit more than maybe some of the other ones. They're very social. The thing is that Libra, this is interesting with Libra. Libra is independent. It likes to be independent like all of the air signs. But what I find interesting with Libra is that they say this, but they're actually really big into relationships. And I have known, like I said, many Libras, and I find that they do better when they're paired with people. They may say one thing and say that they like independence, and I think they like independence as in general, but the difference is they do really well in relationships. I feel like most Libras do well in relationships. They don't like to be alone, but when they're in relationships, they still want that independence. So they don't want somebody who's too needy. It's like they want somebody who to pay attention to them when they want it, but it's kind of like give me space as well. It's kind of this contradiction. So what I'm going to do is go in with Leo here and just start patting it in the corner. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm actually jumping a little bit more than I wanted. So we'll just start with that and see how it goes, because I'm kind of, I'm out of practice, people. It's been a while since I was creating something on the fly. And so, yeah. So they do tend to really value relationships quite a lot. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it doesn't mean they lose themselves in it. But they just, I feel like out of most of the signs, except for like Cancer, they really do value relationships, and that's friendships, but especially love interests. That's how they are. I think that's when they're at their best. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of Leo and Virgo into the crease. I really don't want it to be too bold. I just really want to avoid that if possible. So I don't want it to be gaudy or anything, because that's gaudy. Okay, Libra is ruled by Venus, much like Taurus, our bull, your second sign was. It's very much about, beauty and things being, lovely and not gaudy and just well put together. And out of all the signs, I will say that this really is something that that Libra stands by. The Libras that I've known are really well put together. They really, like one of them in particular was always so meticulous. A few of them, but one that I'm thinking of that I knew really well, she always put her makeup on really well. She wouldn't leave the house without it. There's nothing wrong with that, but she just had a specific way that she wanted to present herself, and it was just, she dressed really well. Her hair was always well. I don't think I ever saw her out of place. I really don't. That's just not who she was. And so it was very important to her. She would not go out of the house if she felt like she just did not represent herself well. And that's very much a Venus thing. And Taurus is like that too, but not quite as much. I think Taurus, there's a kind of I don't care aspect with Taurus. Now I'm just going to blend these in. I think there's a I just don't care with Taurus that Libra doesn't have. Libra does tend to care, and more so than Taurus. More so than a lot of signs, I find. I find they're very much, like certain signs are very much like, I just don't care, and they mean it. Like Aquarius doesn't give two craps. They really don't, and they'll tell you it, and they mean it. And they mean it. Aquarius does not mince words, let me tell you. Libra's not like that as much. Libra very much is, they do care what people think. They want to be seen positively with everyone. They're the type that wants to be loved by everyone. So if somebody doesn't love them, they will sit there and ponder this and go, how is this possible? That's very much a Libra trait. It's that balance. They always want that balance. So throughout their lives, they're always looking for that balance. And if somebody doesn't like them, they're like, ooh, what? They don't like ugliness. They don't like ugliness. And so if somebody doesn't like them, they don't understand it. It's just like, how is that possible? So they'll try to appease people to have them like them, because it's just baffling to them. It's hard for them. They need that balance. So I'm going to go back in with the white and just fix this up a little bit, because I don't want it to be too Pepto-Bismol, we don't want that. That wouldn't represent Libra well. So, everything is about balance and looking good. And so these people are just, like I said, immaculate when they go out. I've even known male Libras, and let me tell you, they were so about their appearance, the way their clothing looked, the way their hair was. One of my brothers is a Libra, and he was one of the cleanest, most well put together person. He just, that's who he is. And so I know Libras quite well. I have several in my family, but they look beautiful. And I think it's because of that need, because of Venus. And because of Venus, they also need, they can be materialistic in certain ways. Not like Taurus. Taurus is the I have. That's not Libra. Libra's motto is I balance. And so it's not necessarily about gimme, gimme, gimme. Though Libra does really love the finer things in life. So I don't think this is showing up enough, and this is kind of weird. I know I tend to be very much like a finger painter with makeup more than a lot of people. So I just want the glitters to pop a little bit more. Would be easier to probably use a brush for this. So I'm just gonna go in there and do, it's not a cut crease or anything, but I want there to be definitely like a little bit more pop with the shimmers and glitter. It's more shimmer. So I'm gonna do this. But what I mean by them loving the finer things in life is they have great taste. Libra is one of those people who, they will save their money. They don't need a lot of things. They're not overly materialistic, so they don't tend to gravitate towards possession as much as Taurus does. Or, Capricorn. Though Capricorn's not a hoarder, they really like the finest things, much like Libra does. So they tend to save up their money for quality things. So they're not going to go, oh boy, this is a really great sale. That's not going to be Libra. That's just not. They like a good sale, but they'll definitely pay the full price going in with this lighter color to make sure it's powdered down. They're going to be they're going to spend their money on quality items. So it's not quantity, it's quality. They will buy the designer things and they won't have necessarily a lot of it, but their tastes are very fine, and they're like, I don't want to knock off. That's not who I am. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with Leo and put it again in the corner. We'll try this. So it's funny because, you know, my mom is also a Libra, and so it's also this idea of she just, you know, she likes finer things too. You know, she likes a good sale, but she just, boy, she doesn't drink, so she isn't like my friend ordering Prosecco, but boy, she has fine taste. And so it's hard to really know what to get her sometimes, because she'll say she'll like it because, of course, being Libra, she's balanced and doesn't want to insult you. But on the other hand, you see it like a year later and it hasn't been used. You're like, you should just told me you didn't like it. We could have returned it. But, you know, that's not really, Libra doesn't like to cause waves. So, you know, it doesn't quite happen like that. So what I'm going to do is go in with, you know what, a mix of Gemini in the center, because I want this silver, but I don't want it to be too much. So hopefully this works. Please work. Okay, you know, we can make it work. We'll do some blending here. So, you know, they're very much into refined taste. You know, it's that Venus aspect. It really is. So, as I was saying, Libra is also extremely social. You know, they're just big social butterflies. But they're never going to cause waves. And here's the thing that I've noticed is they really do not like to cause waves, and they tend to avoid conflict, especially conflict that makes them look bad, as much as possible. A couple of the Libras I've known, unless they have something messing up their chart, and here's the thing, and please, to anyone who's a Scorpio out there, Scorpio, do not take offense. Now I'm going to bring these colors before I go into that, the same colors that I was using down under the, or to the corner of the eye and down. So my mom has a lot of Scorpio planets, like a ridiculous amount. Like she is more Scorpio mixed with Libra, and depending on where they're placed within the chart, they can cause, you know, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. I don't want to say bad, it just could be the challenge that you need to work on in this life. She is so much Scorpio that she has certain Libra aspects, but the Scorpio kind of messes it up to a degree, and she will tell you what she thinks. But somebody who's a true Libra, they're going to avoid conflict. They're not going to like it. And you're not going to get like an argument out of them. Like I said earlier, they may tell you in private, but they're not going to do it in front of the group because they sure as heck do not want to look bad. They just do not. And it can be frustrating to some of the other signs because they're like, pick a side. But that's just not who they are. They will be honest with very close people. So if you're close to them, they'll tell you what they think. But around people that they're trying to make a good impression around, that is not necessarily going to be the case. Okay, so I want to go back more in with that Virgo-Leo kind of combination, just to add a little bit more dimension. I just don't want to like really mess it up here, but I just feel like it needs a little bit more right in here. So this is basically it for now. It's a little bit messy, so I'm going to clean it up in a different room, because I'm going to put my eyeliner on and mascara, and then I'll put the rest of the look together on camera. But it's a little bit, I want to clean it up, because with these shadows, they do tend to be messy, so they'll drop around a little bit more than I like. So I'm going to clean that up, because Libra would never go out of the house looking like this with it not being perfect. They're some of the perfectionists of the zodiac, so they'd get along really well with Virgo. They really would. They could be perfectionists together. So I'm going to clean this up, and I am going to be right back. Okay, so I am back. Just did a simple winged eyeliner and then some dramatic. I like the Better Than Sex mascara, Too Faced, because it just really adds a punch. It almost looks like kind of fake lashes without fake lashes. I don't really do the fake lashes too much, so this is kind of my answer to it, because I don't think Libra would, well, some would. They'd pull it together really nicely with that, but it's a lot of the time with Libra, they'll accentuate their natural beauty and what they already bring to the table. They're like, They know that it looks good to begin with. They know that they take care of themselves. They put themselves together well. So what I found is that most Libras don't tend to go gaudy. Even if they go with a little bit more dramatic look, there's going to be something kind of holding them back as well to keep it in the zone of classy. These are classy people. So it's kind of like, if you're wearing too much jewelry, remove a piece, that old saying. Or, you know, if you're showing the top, you don't show the bottom. And even still, Libra in a lot of ways doesn't want to show that because they don't want to be seen that way. You know, they're very classy. So these aren't going to be the ones showing a little TNA. That's not how Libra is. You know, they look at it like, I'm a gem that needs to be respected and sought after type. And that's just kind of how Libra is. They really are exquisite. So it was funny, you my beautiful Libra friends, the whole time I was kind of working on this, I could hear one of my friends, girl, no, don't go too far. Oh, you know, the whole time I could hear her in the back of my head, girl, make sure you don't get too crazy with that purple, you know, or pink purple. I could hear her in my head because that's how she is. So, yes, thank you. So we're going to continue with the rest of the look. So I'm just kind of experimenting here. Again, we're going to keep it in the pink zone. Now I'm going to do a couple layers with this because Libra has a lot of layers. I'm just taking a light pink, which you can use any light pink. And then I'm going to go in with ColourPop, and this is scrumptious. This light pink is a Korean brand, Misha, and I don't think they make it anymore, so I'm just not going to put that there. But I'm going to take Scrumptious from ColourPop, and then I'm going to put this here just to add a natural glow on top of that beautiful light baby kind of pink. Because again, Libra is about baby pinks and baby blues. And then we are going to take just like a silver or shimmery white highlighter. Again, because I kind of want it to be silvery, like the Justice, you know. It's for the scales of justice. And so we're going to put that here just to add a little bit of that to match the inner corner of the eye look. And then we are going to go in with Becca. So you don't have to have Becca. These are discontinued. I think you can still, at this time of this video, so check the timestamp, you can still get this at Sephora. It's on sale for $11. Probably other places as well. But what it is it's a pink, silver, gold shimmer. And you can get these, I know Anastasia Beverly Hills has one like this. I think a couple places have it. It's kind of a popular kind of gloss color. So I'm going to use the Becca one. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. There we go. Because this is very much a cool look. I wish I had a little bit more silver in it, but you know, it's okay. So this is the look. This is the look for Libra. And I like it because originally I was struggling with this one. And I think maybe that was one of the reasons why I took a break was for most of them, I know where I'm going to go. And there's a couple of the signs that just stump me. And Libra was one of them because it's hard to do with this palette. It really is because there's not a lot of shimmery silvers. It's like a harsh silver. And then this one in the center is a warm tone. And I don't really equate warm tone with Libra because Libra is pink and blue, which tend to be cool tones. So I wanted to stay in that direction. And so it was very difficult. And I didn't quite know what to do with this, but honestly, looking at this is maybe one of my favorite looks so far. A few other fun facts about Libra. Libra can be extremely forgiving, but know that they don't forget things. They're very clever, and the thing is, you may not know this, but Libra is watching everything. Libra's watching everything. It may not appear like it. They'll be in a conversation with somebody else, but they pay attention to everything and they pick up all this information like air signs do and they keep it. So they will forgive you, but in the back of their mind, they may be cautious because they remember everything. So something to know about Libra. Also, as I kind of said, they are extremely charming. They can be one of the most flirtatious signs of the zodiac. You know who would really get along is Libra and Leo. Because Leo loves being the center of attention too, and they would love somebody who stands up to them and is attractive and put together well. Leo would love that and go, yeah, there he or she is. You know, so Leo would love that, and Libra would be, you know, exquisite and ladylike and everything that Leo would love, and they would be this like power beautiful couple that people would go, screw you. So, you know, one would be a little bit more over the top, while the other Libra would be a little bit more pulled together, but they could respect each other's game, so that's kind of nice. But Libra, you are charming, and you know it. You may deny it, but you know you're extremely charming, and you are good with people. You are one of the people persons. You know, you're about people. You're an extrovert. Unless you have other things in your chart that make you more introverted, like Scorpio, or, you know, other signs that are a little bit more pulled in, like Pisces or something, that can change that. But if you are a Libra, depending on your planets and things, you are just going to be extremely charming and flirtatious, and you don't mean anything by it. You have a certain charm to you, and you're not going to let that go to waste. No, you are not. So, you know, just a beautiful sign, you know, but again, you can sometimes lose yourself in always trying to mediate and find balance, and sometimes you can get lost in that because you want the approval of people. And you're not always going to get that. Just know in life that not everybody's going to like you. So what you can do is look at your polar opposite of Aries and go, I don't care sometimes. You know, I don't care because I'm going to stay true to myself. I like myself. You don't, well, too bad. And it's okay to be like that sometimes, Libra. So go ahead and do it. So yes, so that is my BH Cosmetics Zodiac Palette sign for Libra. Libra, the sign of beautiful Libra. So yes, we are now heading, because Libra is September, October, we are now heading towards November. Still fall, but starting to get a little bit chilly. And that brings along the beautiful sign of Scorpio. We are visiting the second sign of water, yes, with Scorpio. Which Scorpio is, most definitely misunderstood, and it gets a lot of flack on the internet in a lot of ways and in general, and it kind of infuriates me because Scorpio, I got your back in this next video, but what I love about Scorpio is most water signs tend to be a little bit more docile. Scorpio docile, though they can appear like it because they're low, you know, they're under the radar, they're anything but docile. So we're going to go with you can say goodbye to the more gentle looks of Virgo and Libra and see something very bold coming up with Scorpio. And I'm excited to do this one. I hope I do it justice. So yeah, look for that next. I hope you liked this video. I'm really happy with the look. It's actually, I'm quite pleased with it. So look for the next one. I hope I do Scorpio justice because you are a tough cookie to crack. So we're going to try. So until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye.